All right, here's my steps. Step 1. This is called slide and divide. Anybody ever learned this before? No? You did?
Yeah, but it's not called that.
No? Okay. Well, I founded it. No, I didn't. Wish I could say that. Somebody told me this about 8 years ago. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. So, here's what you do. Step number 1, if you're taking steps, you slide the A down to the C. Okay? Rewrite it. X squared plus 20x, since I slid it down, and multiply it, that becomes minus 21. That's step 1. Slide A down. Step 2, factor like normal. Factors of negative 21 that add up to 20, which are x what? Plus 21, x minus 1. Now the problem with this method is when people get this far, they think they're done because they factored. But you didn't factor the original. You factored that thing in the middle. Right? I mean, check it. If you multiply these two together, you're not going to get this. You're not done. Right? So please, if you use this method, please remember to keep going. Alright? Now, after you did this, well, since we multiplied by 3, we're going to undo that. So we're going to divide by 3 just in these two spots right here. That's step number 3, is divide. Okay, so if you're writing steps down, step number 1 is to slide A. Step number 2, factor like normal. Step number 3 is to divide by the A value. Whatever A was, that's what you divide by. Now, step number 4 is the simplify step. So step number 4, simplify these two things. So this becomes x plus 7. And 1/3 doesn't simplify, so I'm going to leave it there for now. X minus 1/3. Now this can't be it either because x times x still gives me x squared and not 3x squared. So step 5 is your last step. If you have any denominators, you move them to the front. So I have one denominator right here. Since I have one, I move it to the front of the x right here. That's step 5. Move all denominators to the front. And then you should have your final answer. X plus 7 times, if you move that to the front, 3x minus 1. That's the method I call slide and divide. Now the only way I wouldn't use this thing is if I told you to factor this. Because when I multiply A times C, that's like factoring. Now I got to factor 300. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. So the only way I use slide and divide is usually if these two numbers are fairly small. You know what I mean? When they start getting big, I don't use slide and divide. It just takes too long.